Hi, this is Laurie from Dutchy Branch. You're watching the post vlog for C2 Albatross Lesson 5. The project this week was to design an invention to solve a problem in the classroom and then present it to a school board. The students were required to discuss what inspired them, what their execution plan was for creating the product, and how they planned on making profits. I asked my students to put together their presentation using Polaris PowerPoint or S-Note application, and I also asked the groups to try making a short Magisto video as a hook for their product pitch. To start off with things that worked well, first of all, my students loved the idea of creating an invention for the 3.0 classroom, so I'm glad that I allowed them to do that as opposed to just a regular classroom. When I brought this up and I showed the media cards, as I mentioned in my pre-vlog, I gave them just various pictures of things in our classroom, such as the TV mount, the power bars, things like this, and I asked them how perhaps we could invent something to make these items work better for the classroom, and the students gave a lot of innovative solutions. Also, getting the kids to use the Magisto application I think was a lot more fun. So for the groups that did play with it, or at least had the time to take advantage of the application, they had a lot of fun. Not only was it fun for the groups that made it, I think it made it a lot more interesting and appealing for the audience members who were watching the presentations. Thirdly, the task sheet, my lifesaver. You can watch my previous vlog to get the specifics on what I included in my task sheet, but basically I made sure to divide the roles in a way where each group member had a similar amount of workload and level of difficulty. Also, I outlined the tasks in order for each role. This way, each group member would be working on something at all times.
There are 4 things you need in your speech, okay? Annie, can you read the first bullet point?
Must be a minimum of 6 sentences.
That's right, minimum of 6 full sentences.
More than 6.
More than 6, fantastic. Anaquan, second bullet point.
Must include 1 to 2 topical expressions.
And topical expressions, that's that list of words, right, that we always have. Good. Bullet point number 3, Jack.
Must have speech review and edited copy.
That's right, so please come to me, show me your speech, I'll quickly look through it. Okay. And bullet point number 4, Andrew.
Refer to the ideas your group brainstormed on page 4 CSO.
That's for role 1. Role 2, page 7. Role 3, page 12. Those are those little projects that we do.
I think that having such a tool to facilitate the group work can really help monitor not only the rate of completion of each group member, but also it ensures that the work is divided as evenly as possible. It's easier to remind the students of all of the responsibilities that they've signed up for and agreed on, and I think the students get more on board with getting to work and realizing that they just can't sit there and be idle. Now for some tips if you're going to teach this class in the future. I want to give pointers on Magisto. I've mentioned this in a previous vlog where I suggested using this application in Eagle level, but here it goes in case you haven't seen it or taught Eagle. The first thing I would do if you're going to suggest really trying out the Magisto app is provide a guide to your students. Like print it out so that they have it step by step. That way you're not going to have storms of students coming up to you and demonstrate it for them. When using Magisto, I actually recommend not asking the students to record any speech in the videos. Usually I'll ask them to summarize or give a little intro before giving the Magisto video, because the Magisto will cut parts out of the video and then collage random clips or photos together when applying the background and the music. Usually the way that they collage these various clips and images, it's in the order that it was filmed. So I'd recommend getting the kids to, like, instead of record them talking, get them to draw out a sign, take a picture of that sign, and then select that as you're creating your film. But if you want your video to be on one continuous film, and I'll tell you why there's a benefit of that, what you could do is just hold your tablet and record still for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then what will happen is when the Magisto is collaging all the scenes together, you'll actually be able to see the sign and have enough time to read it. Or what they could do is draw it on Polaris or S-Note and then screen capture the sign and then use that image as part of their collage. So the benefit of doing it on one whole video clip is that if the order in which your scenes matter for the video, it will be edited in that order usually. But if you're just selecting various pictures and clips to put into the video, sometimes it can be all mashed up, and then the students would have to re-record or re-edit the video. So if the students do want to put it in one long video, how to do that is basically you would record and then you'd hit the pause and then switch the scene and then record again another scene or another signage, pause again, set up the next scene. So it's just like pause, record, and repeat that until it's done. Then you just stop and upload that onto the Magisto and let it buffer into a video with a nice theme and music. But sometimes it's nice to have just like a random collage of pictures and things if it's a simpler video. So for this project, I asked them just to kind of put images or video clips of things in the class that was the inspiration for their product. So it's really cool. I had a group. The inspiration was the power bars being all tangled, so the girl just like took pictures of herself falling and tripping over these power cords, and then put this mashup of photos into a video. So it was a simple, quick video. It was probably under a minute, and then they went ahead and had a cool little hook to go along with it.
Chongda students, have you ever tripped because of the chargers lying everywhere? We have noticed that many students trip because of the charger. Today we are going to present about a squid charger that our company, Dawn Squid, made to prevent tripping and getting hurt. There are many good and unique points about our product.
So in instances like that, it breaks up the presentation a bit, makes it more visually interesting. The most important recommendation is when you're doing Magisto videos that are longer, I would recommend getting the kids to start filming at the start of the third hour, because the movie sometimes it takes a long time for it to actually put the theme and the music in. The longest I've had was maybe 13 minutes for an actual Magisto video to be completed, because if they don't like it or if the application has collaged their images and videos where important images or videos have been cut out, then they'll have to do it again and then wait for another time for it to create. Overall, I think the project was a success. It, for me at least, was a hit in terms of the interest level and the passion that came from my students. And honestly, I think it's because they were able to brainstorm and discuss about improving something that really applied to them. It was really interesting to see them get so passionate about a project. Hopefully, those of you that tried this project out had a similar experience. So anyways, until lesson 7, have a good one.